time to jump right into another famous Nerdmotron movie commentary plus special guest.
Was that jumping thing a pun?
Jumping like a super jumping man.
Yes.
Like some sort of Super Mario brother, perhaps?
Luigi.
Yeah, he's one of them. Yeah.
He's Luigi Mario, that's his name, isn't he? He's a Mario brother.
Indeed. So, it's Super Mario Brothers 1993, directed by, according to most reports, a pair of absolute clowns.
Alan Smithy?
Annabelle Jankel and Rocky Morton. If you're wondering why you've never heard those names before, it's because they've done nothing with their lives. Apart from Super Mario Brothers 1993 and a bunch of music videos. Bless them. Anyway, everybody, get copies lined up. Do we have our copy lined up?
Our copy is lined up.
Great. And we are playing in 3, 2, 1, play!
Parfait logo.
Parfait. You might want to turn it down
I should probably
a bit.
mute this, shouldn't I?
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Little chicken.
Yep. What did you call me?
Nothing, Chuck. Some sort of Sphinx silhouette-y thing.
Nobody calls me a chicken.
Oh, is this from Super Mario Land?
Well, I mean, that's one of the questions that we're going to have to ask ourselves throughout this movie is any of this anything to do with Mario? Because I think a lot of things are named after Mario things, but don't really have any relation to
What is it
that
with
thing
things
in the
we're
games?
watching these days, or discussing these days, that's just in name only? It's Mario in name only. Is it, you know,
Yeah.
hey, it's me, it's Mario.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, here's the
Really
Bob Hoskins. I love Bob
High-tech
Hoskins.
graphics there.
Yeah, well, I mean,
think they were
this
trying
is
to be
this is
pixelated,
that-
but-
yeah, this is like the one sort of video game-ish concession that they make is this bit, and it doesn't look like anything. It looks like one of those like educational CD-ROM games that you would get in like primary school.
Yeah, it kind of looks something like an Amiga game. Like, oh, it's
and
gone
then it
high
just
res now.
yeah, that's
Brooklyn 65 million years ago.
the dinosaurs.
Hey, get out of here with your big meteorite!
I'm walking here.
He said, get out of here, and they wouldn't dare hit us.
What if the dinosaurs weren't all destroyed? What if instead they were cast into this weird, melty plasticine dimension?
But well, the worst thing is, what if they found their way back?
Super Mario Bros.
With the brothers.
Brooklyn 20 years ago.
So we've just had a 65 million year time jump.
Yeah.
Fisher Stevens. That's the.
Yeah.
That's the. He was in our last discussion where we were talking about Indian people being played by non-Indians.
Oh yes.
That's the short circuit,
Yeah.
man.
Well, we'll get into the talking about the cast and what they've done with their lives.
You know what's really shocking? I don't think I've ever actually seen this film all the way through, but I know a lot about it and have seen a lot of clips of it.
Yeah.
But now I'm wondering if I'm going to watch it and be like, actually, I have seen all this and I just deleted it from my mind.
I suspect you probably will have seen it all through. So here's your classic leaving a baby
Music
at a
by,
church.
sorry, Alan Silvestri did the music.
Yeah.
He did the music from Flight of the Navigator and stuff like that. This.
Yeah.
I
Does
really
he
wish
not
we could crank the sound up.
He does like the Avengers music and stuff as well, doesn't he?
Does he?
I think so.
Maybe.
An awful lot of this lady running around in the rain.
And into the sewers.
Why would you keep a baby in that? I mean, I know it's a weird sort of dinosaur human thing.
It's an egg.
It
It's
is
not a
an
baby.
egg.
It's an egg.
I forgot about the egg. And like, if you're a group of nuns, right, and you find this weird, futuristic capsule thing that has a giant egg in it, and then that egg hatches into a human child,
You're gonna
you're
think
gonna have some questions for the old Almighty. I think, would you not?
Well, to be honest, the fact that they don't have questions about the Almighty without having seen a human hatch from an egg poses more questions than anything else.
We'll be having none of that. Oh no, it's Dennis Hopper! Surprise, Dennis Hopper! Now, interestingly, I think that's the same actor that plays the egg's mother is the same actor that plays the egg baby when egg baby is grown.
Right. What? Not that egg baby then?
No, that's the egg baby. You can tell because there was an egg and then it hatched, and then there was a baby covered in Vaseline.
At least you hope it's Vaseline.
Oh, come on!
Well, it might be KY jelly. It is a movie.
Well, yeah. Brooklyn now!
Another 20-year time jump.
Yeah, just skipping about all over the place. Here we go. Right, what is the deal with the gun rack of
Of plungers.
That's weird.
This was my father's.
What's that poster? Is that a poster or anything? I don't think it's anything.
Maybe it's the one other movie. That
Hey, I'm Mario! You gotta give me a goddamn job, because
Oh my
I'm
God.
Mario!
What's the guy who plays Luigi called again? I'm sure we'll come
Well,
back to it.
let's get into it. So we've got, obviously, Bob Hoskins as Super Mario brother.
The only appropriate moustache in cinema history.
Interesting. I think Tom Selleck is going to want a word with
Tom
you.
Selleck's moustache can fuck off.
Wow.
It's so over. Tom Selleck's moustache is just as hideous as most other moustaches.
Oh no!
Spicy take there.
We've got beef with Tom Selleck.
No.
Oh, don't drop boots on your nuts. That's...
There's no way to break your peanuts.
I mean, it's quite a good way to break your peanuts, actually.
Depends how clean your boots are.
Not very clean. I mean, nothing in this apartment looks very clean, apart from the wallpaper. Oddly enough. So yeah, Bob Hoskins. He's a good actor, you know.
He is.
From the old British telecom adverts.
Indeed.
He's good to talk, etc.
Except when you don't understand the voice.
Except when you're being made to speak in a Brooklyn accent.
Yeah, is it? I'd need to listen to it. I doubt it's very good. It's probably better than mine.
It's
but-
really good, actually.
Is
It's
it?
well, I mean, it's perfectly fine because he's a good actor. So you know,
This is true.
He's been in other things. The Long Good Friday. It was a good old gangster flick.
What else has he been in?
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, of
Yes.
course.
A Room for Romeo Brass.
I
He had a little
no
bit of a
idea
cameo
what
in
that
that.
was.
It's one of the early. I can't remember the guy's name. Doesn't matter. But great movie.
Speaking of cameos, he is some sort of band manager or something in Pink Floyd's The Wall.
I'm not actually seen it.
You're
Oh look,
not really
Twin
missing
Towers shows
anything.
dates it
well,
very well.
yeah, we'll be getting back to the Twin Towers later on.
Oh yeah. Oh dear.
Let's just say a lot of aspects of this film have not aged terribly well.
What aspect has aged well?
Those suits are pretty good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that limo was pretty cool, but it is very 90s, isn't it? It's very boxy and. Hey,
I'm Anthony
we're Scapellis. We're old Italian American stereotypes, and you can't be digging his holes in his.
Did he just ask how long you're going to be digging up this bones? You can't rush archaeology.
Yeah, well, they're the mafia. They don't give a shit.
They like putting bones in the ground.
Indeed.
I
I don't.
didn't. That
Was
wasn't
that a
one of the
sexual thing, or I can never quite tell. What else? What else?
No.
Smee and Hook.
Holy shit, Smee and Hook. Yeah, he was great in Hook.
Yeah.
Hook's a great movie. When
Hook
are you
is
going to watch
great.
that movie?
I don't know. I don't know if I would really have a lot to say about it. Actually, no, that's not true. I would have a lot to say about it. There's a lot of real jank in that movie, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Enemy at the Gates.
Oh, look, here's Short Circuit Man.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Oh yeah, jeez. So yeah, Enemy at the Gates, which is pretty good. It's about Russian snipers in World War II or something like that.
I'm not seeing it.
It's pretty good. He's in an episode of Frasier,
Great.
which is interesting.
Frasier was never interesting.
It it was interesting for the first like 5 seasons, and then it just got a bit boring after that.
Oh yeah.
I did try and rewatch it recently.
I bet it's massively unwatchable now.
No, it's not. It actually holds up pretty well.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Because it's just rich folk just being weird and rich, and you know, it's good fun. It's good fun, but it gets kind of boring after. I think it's like season 4 when Niles and what's her name, the nanny, finally get together.
Yeah. What I will give it is that it's infinitely better than Seinfeld.
Yeah, everything's better than Seinfeld.
I don't understand
Fuck
why
Seinfeld.
people like Seinfeld. It's absolute guff.
I think it's just because they're just a bunch of schlubs, and everybody loves a bunch of schlubs.
Yeah, but they're just unlikable schlubs. I thought you was... I don't know. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, but I know, it's weird, because Seinfeld is a sitcom about a group of very unlikable people getting themselves into horrible situations.
Starring a bunch of quite unlikable people.
Starring
as well.
some quite horrible people as well, yeah. And then you look at something like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is essentially the same premise, but works so much better.
See the Evian product placement there? He's putting Evian in his car, because that's the greatest water to put in your car engine, isn't it? Not
It makes a lot
or
of... Well, I mean, in a pinch, what are you
Yeah.
going to do? Now, I heard... I may have put this in the trivia bit that we do at the end, but see, when he does the bottle thing, he like turns it upside down and shows it, doesn't he?
When?
At some point he does. Like, apparently there's a bit in this where he turns... Like, Luigi's hitting on Daisy. That's Daisy there, by the way. And Mario responds by taking an Evian bottle and turning it upside down because it apparently spells naive. And I'm just like, that's not a thing. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Ugh.
Anyway, Bob Hoskins also was Odin in Son of the Mask.
Really?
Yeah.
I never saw that one. That was the... who was in that? What's his name?
Oh, I
Jamie
can't remember.
Kennedy or somebody?
Yeah, Jamie something. Yeah, I think it was Jamie Kennedy.
They should have just left it after the first one.
Yeah, but it's Hollywood. They're never going to do that.
No.
There he is. There you go. See? Holding it upside down. Because apparently Evian turned upside down spells naive.
Continuity there, it suddenly flipped upside down as well.
Oh, mate.
So maybe it was intentional and that they just got the shot editing wrong.
Yeah, probably.
To be
I mean,
honest,
I
we've
don't think...
established that these directors aren't really experts in their field, so maybe that was a really subtle joke for them to insert. Like, oh my god, he's so naive. Like,
I struggle to believe that anything about this movie was actually intended. I think this is all just a series of accidents. You know? Like, they had a script, and they had, like, cameras and actors, and they pointed those cameras at the actors while they were performing the script. But I don't think there was really that much more thought put into it than that, you know?
who knows?
And he was also, Bob Hoskins was some asshole in Outlaw, which is one of the worst movies ever made. It's a rip-off of another thing you've probably not seen, Dead Man's Shoes.
I have seen Dead Man's
Oh,
Shoes,
you've seen Dead
and
Man's
funnily
Shoes.
enough, the director of Dead Man's Shoes is the director of A Room for Romeo Brass, and that's why I was trying to think of the connection. So maybe that's a tangential link. Like, Room for Romeo Brass was one of the first films with Paddy Considine in,
Yes.
and he was really good in
Okay.
that. Like, really, really good.
Yeah, well, he's...
But he's in Dead Man's Shoes, isn't he?
He's,
Yeah,
he's the main guy. But yeah, so Outlaw is basically a rip-off of that, with Sean Bean doing the Paddy... I always want to say Paddy Constantine.
Paddy Considine.
But he's not out there fighting demons and stuff, is he? That would be good. That'd be great, actually.
Paddy Considine.
Paddy Constantine.
Yeah, I got you.
So, who else we got? We've got John Leguizamo as Super Luigi Mario Brother,
Okay.
to give him his full name. What's he been in? He's been in Romeo plus Juliet,
Oh my god, so he was.
the Leonardo DiCaprio thing. I was obsessed with that film when I was younger.
Best thing about that film is Talk Show Host by Radiohead.
It's got a pretty good soundtrack.
It's a great soundtrack,
overall,
but that track, I couldn't find it anywhere except for on the soundtrack to Romeo plus Juliet, as you like to call it.
Well, that's what it's called.
It is, technically.
Romeo, it's literally a plus sign. It's not an ampersand even, it's a plus sign.
It was the 90s.
It's like when people call Batman versus Superman. It's not Batman versus Superman.
It's Batman v Superman.
It's Batman v's Superman.
That's actually what Zack Snyder calls it, isn't it?
Yeah. What else is he in? Spawn. He's the evil clown monster in Spawn.
Can't recall.
You never seen Spawn?
Not that I can remember. Probably.
You would remember if you had, because it's really, really bad.
Well, maybe that's why I don't remember.
But John Leguizamo was in it. I can't remember the name of the clown. It's like a clown demon kind of thing.
It?
No. But, similar sort of evil clown concept, I guess. But yeah, he's really, really good in it. He's pretty good in everything, is John Leguizamo. I'm quite a fan of him. He does the voice of Rat Number 2 in Dr. Dolittle, the Eddie Murphy one.
No, that famous character,
Rat Number 2. That famous character, Rat Number 2.
We need to come on to Daisy at some point in a minute, because I saw a thing recently about how Daisy's basically only appeared in 1 or 2 Mario games.
Oh, we'll get into all of that.
But she's like the fan favourite, but they never bring her back.
Yeah. Who else have we got? What else have we got? Titan AE. Familiar with that?
Isn't that a movie?
That is a movie.
Oh right, I thought you were saying they were in this film. I was like, who's Titan AE? No, I haven't seen it.
It's good, I like it. I like Titan AE.
It's not some L. Ron Hubbard thing, is it?
No. I mean, not
that's
really.
Battlefield Earth, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Battlefield Earth. I don't think it has any connections to that kind of thing. But no, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good sort of sci-fi romp. The Earth gets destroyed in the first 10 minutes. That's pretty good. It's always fun.
That must have been a really interesting film then, 10 minutes after the first 10 minutes. Where...
Yeah, it just ends. It's just you're just looking at
just a void of rocks.
Yeah, it's just a black screen with rocks and dust floating past it.
It's a pretty high concept.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like 2.5 hours. It's pretty good.
Maybe that's one to watch. We'll probably won't be much to discuss. Anyway, next.
Yes. Anybody that's ever heard of Titan AE. There's 2 types of people in the world. People who have heard of Titan AE and people who hate it. And then there's me, being the only person in the world who actually likes it. A real tit head, you might say.
Your words.
He's also in Moulin Rouge.
Nice.
Which I've never seen, and I don't care about.
Well, yeah. Moulin Rouge isn't amazing, but I enjoyed it at the time and was very impressed by what's his chops? Obi-Wan Kenobi's singing.
Oh, hello.
Hello there.
Hello, I'm Obi-Wan and I'm in Moulin Rouge. Ooh la la.
Indeed. It's a sad state of affairs when Obi-Wan Kenobi can sing Elton John songs better than Elton John. But I'm not really an Elton John fan.
No, me either. I was just trying to think if I knew any Elton John songs that I could sing in an Obi-Wan voice. Candle in the wind.
I would have gone with your song.
I haven't written a song.
Oh, my bad.
What are you talking about?
My mistake.
That's not true, actually. I've written many, many songs.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think...
Oh, excuse me. What else? John Leguizamo.
That's a remarkably complete skeleton for archaeology.
Yeah, it's almost as if
it's a prop.
Just been chucked down there. Yeah.
Well, I suppose maybe it's not actually 65 million years old, and that might be part of it as well.
Possibly.
It hasn't dated it yet. They're about to date that.
Oh, John Leguizamo. This is not the time or the place for this sort of behaviour. Look out! It's the Scapellis doing a crime wearing their work uniforms.
Subtle, chaps, subtle.
Yeah.
Good job. There's a plumber there to help out.
Yeah. Well, the Scapellis.
I know exactly what to do. I'll turn the valve and shut it off.
We got an emergency! Mario! We got a plumbing emergency!
I thought he was going to grab a plunger.
Nope, just his tools. There are a couple of tools, you know.
So who's next on the list?
Next, he's in Collateral Damage. John Leguizamo, we're still on him. Collateral Damage, some Arnie thing where he kills a bunch of people, you know.
Don't remember that one either.
Basically Commando, but after he'd learned how to speak English. You know?
Okay.
Because that's why he doesn't speak much in his early films, because he's not really learned English.
Who are we talking about now?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, he was dubbed in his early films, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, the very first, I think Conan or something or whatever. Maybe not Conan, but the first one he was in as a big movie star. He was like, "Hi there, I'm I'm Conan and I'm dubbed."
Well, there's
really badly done.
There's that famous deleted scene from Terminator 3 with the what's it, Corporal John Candy, where it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it as like doing like an advert for the fact that he was
he was the inspiration for the character model.
Yeah, it's a good little deleted scene. You should look it up.
I have actually.
I'm Private John Candy.
Oh, and they dub him there.
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
I think it.
I don't think he's that good
very
at
much
accents.
he's doing that accent. What else? John Leguizamo. He's Sid in Ice Age.
Oh, nice.
In the Ice
That's
Age.
Sid.
That is Sid. Yeah.
No way. Okay, well I have seen him in something then.
Well, there you go. He's also in Land of the Dead.
Which one's that?
Well, that's the thing. No one remembers Land of the Dead, and it's a real shame because it's a very stupid movie.
Okay.
It's got Dennis Hopper in it as well, actually, playing a very similar character to this. A sort of.
Sorry, did you catch that? He was like, I know the echo. I've been working with pipes all my life. I know which way that specific sound came from.
Yeah, his Super Mario echolocation powers.
Yeah.
Literal echolocation. That echo's coming from over there.
Like,
Yeah, Land of the Dead it's not good, but it is fun.
Good
It's
enough.
basically a sequel to like Night of the Living Dead and all that, but it's set like kind of far in the future once zombies have just destroyed everything. And there's like a city that's kind of walled off and all the rich people live there and all the poor people are outside fighting the zombies and so forth.
In the Land of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, whatever of the Dead universe, Night of the Living Dead, it's not like Walking Dead, is it, where people die and they come back as zombies? You actually have to get bitten, don't you? Or you have to be infected rather than just everybody is infected?
I'm not sure actually, because in Night of the Living Dead, it just starts, like the dead start rising from their graves. And then they infect other people.
Okay.
But the whole thing is nobody really knows what's causing it. Is it like a science thing gone wrong? Is it some sort of biblical plague kind of situation? That's kind of where the part of the horror that comes from. It's like, what is causing this? Which they kind of spoil in more recent zombie things, where they always have to explain how the zombies come to be. And it's just like, the zombies are much scarier.
Infected! With what? Rage.
Yeah. Reports that the zombies were caused by rage-infected monkeys have been dismissed as utter bullshit.
I rewatched that movie the other day.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really good.
I rewatched Hot Fuzz.
I was very surprised to hear Nick Frost use the N-word in it, though.
Yeah.
But other than that, excellent.
He's falling into a plasticine dimension.
On the strings with really strange gravity.
I mean, that doesn't look terrible, you know? That looks pretty bad. But it's 1993, I suppose.
I disintegrated. Am I still here? If you can ask that question, I think the answer's probably yes.
Yeah, probably. So, what's going on? Where are they? Oh yeah, they've gone through the portal. They are now in pipe. They're going through a pipe, like they do in the games. There's something to do with the games.
Square exit hole.
Now there's an interesting thing. So Mario, right there, is wearing a green jacket, and Luigi's wearing a red jacket. Whereas in the games, it's the other way around, you see?
Well,
Do you think
interestingly, in the original game, Mario didn't wear red. He wore white or something, or brown or some shit. He would like... In the first one, like, it's funny that he didn't... And then when they first brought Luigi into it...
Thwomp. There's a
They just swapped the colour palette so that when
no
Luigi
actual
dies,
thwomp,
he's got a
but
green
there's
tongue.
the word.
Did you know that?
Did I know
When they first had Luigi in the Mario games, they didn't have the memory capacity to actually create 2 independent character models for them. So they switched the colour palettes to make everything red-green, which meant that when Luigi died, he had a green mouth and tongue.
Right. That's gross.
That's a fun fact.
Maybe he is a weird fungus person, like all of these
Us.
people are, or are they dinosaurs? Some of them are mushrooms and some of them are dinosaurs, but they're all humans.
And then some of them look like dinosaurs, but only the Koopas or something. They've got those tiny little lizard heads.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
We'll come to that.
Oh no, those are Goombas. The
that's
lizard
right,
people
Goombas.
with big brown coats on. They're Goombas, apparently.
What?
Even though Goombas are tiny little evil
what?
mushroom people, in this they're massive things. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Anyway, back to John Leguizamo. The Happening.
Are we still on him?
We're still on him. He's been in a lot of stuff, and a lot of it's good. And
We've spent far more time on him than Bob Hoskins, and Bob Hoskins is actually famous.
Yeah, but he's not been in as many interesting things.
Oh God, that's an unfortunate face.
That's rude.
Well, it's makeup.
Oh, well, okay. Well, stop.
Hey, Rick, is that person got shit in their face like Worf, or are they just like...
Right, moving on. What else is he in? Happening, Chef, John Wick, Encanto, The Menu, Violent Night. There we go. Happy now, we can move on.
He was in Encanto.
He's in Encanto, apparently.
Who did he play in Encanto?
I have no idea. I didn't write that down.
Well, we won't talk about Bruno.
No, definitely not. Is he in that?
What am I mixing up Encanto with then?
You said Bruno. You said Bruno.
Have you seen Encanto?
I've not seen Encanto.
Maybe I'm mixing up the film, but that whole film, there's a whole bit in it where they're like, oh, we don't talk about Bruno?
As in the film Bruno? Or
No,
a person
a
called
character
Bruno?
called Bruno
Right.
within the universe
Okay.
of Encanto that they don't talk about because he's like been extradited to the family. Doesn't matter, it's a good movie, but it's a kid's movie, so we'll skip that.
Okay.
Although I technically suppose this is too.
Well, is it really? Because it's very weird and just kind of horrific and slightly
So
horny.
why has he got custard on his hands?
I don't know. Some beauty thing. I don't know. Some lizard man antics.
Or is he actually a lizard underneath and he's
He
got
is,
like
yeah.
fake skin?
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing. Is they're
doing-
dinosaur people.
Is he doing a Dark Man?
No, not in the slightest. He does have incredible hair, though.
Yeah, I do like the hair.
But anyway, speaking of Dennis Hopper, it's Dennis Hopper as
Hey.
King Koopa and not Bowser for some reason.
Because King Koopa is the original name from Japan and Bowser is the American
Yeah,
version.
but why not just call him Bowser? Because there is a Bowser that shows up later on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, there is. We'll
Who
get
knows?
to it. We'll get to that. It's a coming. So yeah, he's been in loads of shit, but there's, let's face it, only 4 films that anybody really cares about of his. This,
Continue.
obviously, which
Mhm.
was in I mean, between the years of 1993 and 95, he had a hell of a time because there was this, and then Speed, and then Waterworld,
Excellent movie.
and then also Land of the Dead, but that was in like the
We need to
2000s.
discuss Waterworld at some point because that is a highly underrated movie.
No, I think it's rated about exactly right.
Well,
I think everybody quite understands what that film is. Ooh, a bug sandwich.
it's a thoroughly entertaining movie.
It's, well, yeah. Oops.
Fashion
Kicking the
things.
table. That's a good idea.
Yes. Good lordy.
Well, it's a good movie along the same lines as this is a good movie. It's like, it's not good at all, but it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what else we got? We got Samantha Mathis as Daisy. Princess Daisy and not Princess Peach for some reason.
Because Daisy's better than Peach?
They're just reskins of the same thing. You
Oh,
know?
not at all, no. Because Daisy is a fucking badass, and Peach is just a cowering, fearful capture person. Like, person to get captured. Whereas Daisy actually is badass.
Not always. Have you played Super Mario RPG?
No.
She's quite a force to be reckoned with in that.
Who's this old woman with the gun?
It's an old woman with a gun. Just an old woman with a gun.
Fair play. It's quite impressive how tangential the technology's developed, isn't it? Where they've all got really similar cars. And
well, I was going to say, what is the deal with those cars? Because they look like...
Oh, it's Iron Man's shoes.
Yeah, the Look, jumping, that's a Mario thing.
Yeah, he didn't need jump boots, though, did he?
No, he just did it.
Yeah,
also, that's not
fair,
really jumping, that's gliding.
That's falling with style.
Indeed. So yeah, Samantha Mathis, also in Broken Arrow, if you remember that.
I don't remember that.
Christian Slater, John Travolta. John Travolta's trying to steal a nuke, but actually does a pretty good job of stealing a nuke.
This guy looks like a cross between Biff from Back to the Future and McLovin.
That's oh fuck, what's his name again?
He's got an interesting hairdo as well.
Mojo Nixon, that's his name. He's a music guy. He's not a film guy. We'll talk about him in a bit. Well, actually, there's nothing to talk about because he's a music guy. But again, he is Toad. That is Toad.
What?
The guy with the guitar there was Toad.
Obviously.
Who obviously in the games is a little mushroom guy.
Isn't he a toadstool?
And in this, he's a little mushroom dude.
Okay.
Yeah, in the games he's a little mushroom dude, and in this he's just some sort of street musician. But anyway, we're not here to talk about music. We're here to talk about movies. Samantha Mathis, also in American Psycho.
Okay.
Probably as somebody who gets murdered, because that happens a lot in that film. Or does it?
I was about to say, or does it?
Maybe it's all a dream.
Within the context of the movie, yes, a lot of people get murdered.
And she was also in The Punisher, the Thomas Jane one, which is pretty good. You mentioned this fellow earlier, Fisher Stevens.
Yes.
As Iggy.
Best known for playing an Indian man in Short Circuit.
He's the guy doing brownface in the Short Circuit movies, which I just
they
don't understand.
But they even lampshade it in the Short Circuit movies, where they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, where are you from?" And he's like, wherever, Dallas or Brooklyn, or whatever he says.
Yeah,
like, it's like
it's a very stupid choice. And I think they only did it because he was supposed to be like good at like maths and engineering, so
he could only possibly be an Indian. Right?
And also give him a funny accent for people to laugh at. Just why?
Yeah.
Those movies are so good. If it just wasn't for that one weird element of them.
The other sad thing about it is that it's not the greatest accent. He didn't do it brilliantly, but at the same time, it's not really relevant to the plot at any point that he is Indian. It's just that he's there. Like it's mad.
Like he could have been anyway. He could have just been just a white guy, or they could have got an Indian actor to fucking hell. Weird.
That's a very big laser sight.
Baffling choices.
It's a strangely focused laser dot.
They've had their souls captured. I don't think all this bondage equipment is really necessary.
Well, the cops are wearing bondage gear anyway, look.
No, that's true.
It must just be a thing.
What else? Fisher Stevens, he was in the Grand Budapest Hotel.
He was in Lost. Briefly.
Yeah, whoop-de-doo. I don't want to talk about Lost.
Yeah. Much like Battlestar Galactica, I just pretend the last series didn't exist.
Yeah. Well, I think we've mentioned Battlestar before, probably, but when it comes to the new Battlestar, the old Battlestar Galactica, just ignore it because
Crazy Mormon stuff.
yeah, weird.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it literally is just a big Mormon allegory, and the new stuff is no different really.
It's not much better now.
But I when it comes to the new Battlestar Galactica, end it at the end of the miniseries. You know, mini-series they did to kick it all off. It was all about just that convoy surviving in space, and there was a whole thing with the prison ship, and it was good. It was sort of a good, sort of tense sci-fi. It was like The Expanse. You know, it was almost of that.
Still
quality.
not caught up with The Expanse. I think I'm a
Neither
couple of
have
seasons behind.
I
I don't think I've watched any since it went to Amazon.
I think I'm maybe 2 seasons behind in it. I'm kind of reluctant. It's one of those things where I'm kind of reluctant to press on with it because I know it's going to end, and I know it ends properly.
Well, it doesn't quite end properly because it ends, from what I understand, before in the books there's a massive time jump, so it ends at the sort of natural conclusion of that timeline. Okay. So at some point in 20 years down the line, they could probably do a sequel that would continue on, and it would have an all new cast because everyone's dead.
Kind of like Stargate Universe. Or whatever it's called.
No, Universe was set in the same time period.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same thing with the ending.
Yeah. I really hope they do come back to it in a few years' time and just have like real time difference between the characters. Just they aged in stasis or some shit.
And although it is a cliffhanger ending, it is also kind of a satisfying ending. And it it's a kind of ending where it could continue on or it could just stop there and everyone would be fine, I guess.
Did he say egg sucking son of a something?
Probably. He's very Trumpy, isn't he?
But I also like his kind of dinosaur hands, how he's kind of walking like a T-Rex.
Yeah, that's a
it's clearly an acting choice. Yeah.
I doubt very much the directors told him to do that. Fisher Stevens also in Hail Caesar. I've not seen The Grand Budapest Hotel. I've not seen Hail Caesar. I've not seen Isle of Dogs either, or The French Dispatch, all of which he is in. And I'm disappointed at myself for that because I quite like Wes Anderson. Although I hear Isle of Dogs is a big pile of shit.
Oh, is this how he gets lizard head?
Yeah, it's the quote unquote Devo chamber.
Because that's how evolution works. Although, as we learned from Star Trek Voyager, it is apparently how it works.
Indeed.
Are you familiar with the Threshold episode? Oh, yes.
Yep. Who else we got? We got Richard Edson as Spike, the other goon, along with Iggy. Iggy and Spike, they're things from the game as well, aren't they?
Maybe? I'm not...
Like, that's not a Goomba. Not on any fucking level of reality at all.
Of course not. It's a de-evolved toad. Look at his little hands. Like standing like a little bunny rabbit or some shit.
Yeah, I like their little evolution chart there. Although those Goombas are not really Goombas, I gotta say, the animatronics in the face are pretty good. Like, the puppeteering in this movie is pretty good. Mm-hmm. Although it does just look like the lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man. Anyway, Richard Edson, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Fuck that shit.
How did he get so tall?
Because it's a normal human person with a lot of prosthetic.
Did they just give him a harmonica?
Yeah, because he's a music person.
Oh, obviously.
This is just fucking chaos, isn't it? What the Ew!
What are they falling in?
Why is there green shit all over the floor? What's going on? Oh. he's become slightly more lizardy, I think. I'll kill that plumber! Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Howard the Duck.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Good Morning Vietnam.
That is the one where Leo Thompson has sex with the duck, right?
Yes, probably. Yeah, I think so. Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, look, little
Yeah, okay, it's a ba-bomb. There's one of like 2 or 3 things that is both named for the thing in the game and actually looks like the thing in the game. We had the Thwomp thing earlier, which was just a sign for a bar or something.
I missed that.
We've got Toad, who
looks
like
Toad.
and is nothing like Toad from the games at all. And of course we've got Koopa instead of Bowser and all that sort of thing.
Goombas firing fireballs, obviously, because that's a thing.
I'm sure it's a thing in
Did
some
we get any
games.
piranha plants in this?
No.
Disappointing.
No, I don't think so. I mean, there's maybe like a sort of Venus flytrap looking thing that tries to eat them at some point. Maybe. Who knows? Richard Edson also in the Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Starsky and Hutch movie.
Oh, that thing.
Indeed.
That gem.
We also have Fiona Shaw as Lena.
That name rings a bell.
Well, quite recently in Andor.
Still not seen Andor.
Oh, really? Well, it's great. And she's great in it. She plays a character called Father in The Avengers. Not the one you're thinking of.
The one with Eddie Izzard.
The one with Ralph Fiennes and Uma Thurman.
And Eddie Izzard.
Is Eddie Izzard in
I
that?
believe so. I think he's the villain.
No, fucking James Bond man is the villain in that. What's his name? Sean Connery.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look this up for my own sanity.
I mean, maybe he's in it as well. I don't know.
Avengers movie. Oh God, what's actually called?
Just The Avengers.
I know, but that's hard to search for these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alien
plumbers.
I'll just search Avengers Ralph Fiennes. That might do it.
Yeah.
Ralph. Sean Connery, Jim Broadbent. Yeah, Eddie Izzard. He's Sir August's henchman. So he is in it. You know the worst thing about that Avengers film? Well, no, I'll tell you. It was obviously out in '98. It came out on VHS whenever, like '99, 2000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
The day I had my teeth removed for braces, my mum was like, "Oh yeah, look, we'll go to the video shop. You can pick out a movie. You can really enjoy it." And the worst part about having my teeth out was watching the fucking Avengers movie.
Oh my God. I mean,
that speaks volumes, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, not even good enough for post-dental surgery.
No. It brought more pain to my life than I cared to admit.
Fiona Shaw is also in some wizardy shit. She's also in Enola Holmes.
Oh, that was shit.
Oh, really?
I did not like those movies
Oh,
at
I
all.
loved Enola Holmes. Well, I didn't love it.
To be honest, I think I just
good.
don't like the actress. Like,
Millie Bobby Brown.
Whenever I've seen her interviewed, she's just such a twat.
Yeah.
It's like I can't tolerate her. She's so irritating.
Well, fair enough. I've never really seen any. This is just more chaos, isn't it?
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. It's the big fiery chase. They've stolen a police car.
Why have they got police cars from our world?
Well, exactly. Why do they have anything from our world? Why does this world look anything like ours?
Are they all powered by jet engines or something?
Well, yeah. I don't know. Some sparky jet engine thing in the front, and they've also got like the sort of third rail kind of thing going on.
Yeah. Or maybe they're electric motors.
Yeah, but they're just driving like normal. They're not always on tracks, or maybe they just like have to charge up the thing.
Did you see they're actually trialling that in Australia on like some of the really long highways? They're doing electric 18-wheeler things, and they've literally got a power line running down the side, so they can run down the side, charge up the batteries, and then when they need to come off it, they're running on pure electricity, and then they come back onto the main highway, and then they can recharge again.
Interesting. So you're saying that they were inspired by this?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Interesting.
Either that or bumper cars. Sorry, dodgems. I got told off a lot when I was a kid for they're dodgems, not bumper cars. It's like, well, why the fuck have they got big bumpers?
Yeah, they're cars with bumpers on them. Yeah.
The whole point is to ram people.
I don't think it is.
Oh, it definitely is. There's no other end game of dodgems. What else are you supposed to do?
Just drive around in a circle. Respectfully.
Yeah, I did that. I did that in Legoland when I was about 8 and got my driver's license.
Yeah. I've never been at Legoland.
Oh, we should totally go.
I don't think it would really be the same as an adult.
I think it would be even better as an adult, because you'd be looking at it going, oh my god, that's how they make that, and that's this, and that's that. It would see, rather than just...
Yeah, I guess.
Rather than just looking at it with the childlike wonder, you'd be looking at it with an analytical eye going, wow, that's really great work.
Here's Dennis and Fiona having a nice bath in some vomit, by the looks of things. Or is it porridge?
Well, I suspect it's some sort of benign thing in the real world, but in this, who knows? It kind
Why
of
did
looks
those?
like mud.
Why did they walk into the mud? Why did they do that?
I don't know. God, he's a sweaty man, isn't he? In this.
Well, he worked his ass off for this movie. He thought he was only going to be filming for like 5 weeks, and it ended up being like 17 or something. Can you imagine 17 weeks for this?
The most
Tell you
shocking
what,
thing
though.
is that how much of an early Trump he is. Like it's kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, he does look a lot like him. He's got that kind of.
And he's a kind of a real estate person as well. So yeah, I think he was.
I bet
quite
he also
Trumpy
lies about
based.
the height of his towers.
Indeed.
What's her name? We've discussed her probably. Who's this?
That's Fiona Shaw.
Oh, okay.
That's Lena.
Okay. Looks a bit like Liz
Fabulous dress, I have to say.
Oh, it's alright.
Absolute top tier drip, as the kids say these days.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we got Mojo Nixon as Toad. We talked about him. He's a music guy, and we don't care about
Well, he's not in it, or is he?
music. And also, yeah, he's not really in it
Presumably,
anymore.
he's not inside the costume.
Yeah, I don't. Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We've also got Lance Henriksen as King Bowser.
Oh.
So he's he's Bowser.
Does he do the knife thing?
No, he doesn't.
No.
But yeah, he's Bishop from the Alien movies.
Yes.
So yeah, he's Bowser, who is the big bad guy from the games. And yes, okay, he was called Koopa first, and then he became Bowser later. Irrelevant. What the fuck is wrong with this movie? Why is everything in this movie just broken? Everything is just a little bit wrong. And there was no need for it to be that way. They could have just called him Bowser. They could have just called it Princess Peach. And it would be exactly the same movie, but we would have one less thing to complain about.
You know he's
I
smart
would have
because he
one
can do
less thing.
square roots.
Well, he actually gets it wrong.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, because he's... I can't remember, like the actor saying work out the square root of whatever.
Said the
Like
wrong number?
says the wrong number, but it's supposed to be like 34,000 whatever. But he says 24,000 whatever.
Oh, really?
So when he answers, he's given the right answer to the wrong question. Very interesting.
You're right, everything in this movie is a little bit
It is
wrong.
just a little bit broken. So here's some fun things. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo were drunk quite a lot of the time to cope with the nightmare production. Because apparently it was just an absolute nightmare. Because the directors just really didn't know what they were doing. Did they have a vision? If they did, what was it? Just very strange.
I think I'm quite questioning whether they have eyes.
Well, they made some quite striking visual choices. I will say that the costuming is
okay.
weird, but it's good. I like that blue and white dress that she's wearing. I think that's pretty fab.
I have a feeling that purple dress Daisy's in might be a reference to the games.
Really? I doubt it. I think it's just what they had lying around on the day. Yeah, so they blamed the directorial team, who wanted to make a more adult movie.
Yeah,
while the
that's
studio,
what you want to do out of a children's video game.
They wanted to make like a quote-unquote adult movie, whatever that means. Sounds like they were trying to make a porno.
Yeah, an adult movie definitely means porno.
And while the studio quite sensibly wanted it to be...
Oh, he's got his shirt off.
Oof, yeah, that is a bit of getting a bit raunchy, isn't it? Cool belt as well. But yeah, the studio quite sensibly wanted a kids movie.
They probably wanted Bob Hoskins to take his shirt off. He was like, no, let's let Luigi do it. I'll let him do it.
And John Leguizamo was hit by a car.
What?
During the production of this. Probably in one of the scenes where there's just cars just flying about all over the place, ramming into things with seemingly no safety precautions of any kind. So yeah, a real fun time was had by all. Like I say, Dennis Hopper signed up for like 5 weeks of filming, which is quite a lot in itself. You imagine doing this for 5 weeks.
I think imagining doing it for 5 minutes is pretty hard.
And he ended up having to do it for fucking 17.
Now, what's the average length of a movie? It's not that long usually, is it?
Yeah, it's usually a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because like the actual filming of a film isn't usually the thing that takes up the most time. It's like post-production.
Oh, it's Yoshi!
Yeah, but is it Yoshi?
I mean, I think...
It's called Yoshi, but is it Yoshi? No, it's not. Here's another fun thing. This film bombed so hard that Nintendo gave up on making movies.
Until 2023?
Until Detective Pikachu.
Oh, which was a great movie.
I've not seen it.
I really enjoyed Detective Pikachu. But then I'm quite a Ryan Reynolds fan. I can't explain why. I just like Ryan Reynolds.
Because you have questionable taste.
Fine,
okay. Right, here we go. Okay, the world doesn't look Mario-esque at all.
No.
Right. The worlds of the Mario games are like bright and colourful, like cartoon worlds, apart from that time when he goes into the real world.
Or when he goes into a dungeon.
Well, even when he's in the dungeons and like the castles at the end of levels, they're still like, they're obviously what they are, but they're still like colourful and cartoonish, and they're not this weird whatever's going on here.
Interestingly, did they use any of the music or sound effects from the games in this either?
Yes, they did. There is one point when you hear... I think Daisy does something with a computer and you hear like a one-up sound. But apart from that, just no.
I haven't seen them bashing their heads on any blocks or collecting any coins yet either.
No, there's none of that. So instead of it being like a bright, colourful... Whoa, that's... They really were wanting to make a fucking porno, weren't they?
Jesus.
God damn. I said that this movie was weirdly horny. Everything's just sort of...
Oh God,
greasy and
he just
sleazy
said something like,
and...
I just caught that, like something about, you know what they say about little girls, they never forget the first time they're kissed by a lizard. I don't think that's what they say.
I mean, that's very Donald Trump though, isn't it?
No, he just grabs us by the pussy.
Oh God, don't say it. Fucking hell.
I think we need to continue to hold that man accountable for the bullshit he says.
Well, yeah, we could all just ignore him and he'll go away.
Oh yes, see you got your shirt off then. Just getting little Galaxy Quest vibes from this now.
Yeah,
wandering through a quarry with his shirt off.
I really don't understand. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, Robot Wars thing they've got going on here.
That's just an actual aquatic vehicle they've put a little shitty metal frame on.
It's so bizarre.
And you can tell how uncomfortable they are.
Yeah. Like there's
oh
no...
my God.
No, like, seat belts in that thing or anything. The hell's going on?
He's running at them with a spanner. And somehow they were thrown from it. Landed leg first.
I like how he's using his rainbow belt to tie up the bad guys. Again! Weirdly horny.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me, but anyway.
What, weirdly horny?
Well, tying people up with a rainbow strap.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so I really don't understand why they went for this weird sort of Batman 89 Blade Runner-esque industrial dystopian nightmare
So
world.
what's going on with Fisher Stevens' hair? It's like they tried to give him a perm and then just squidged it down with gel.
I don't know, he's got like 3 different haircuts going on at once. It's quite impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Scapelli. Goddamn Scapellis. No, they're goofs, aren't they? The thing about Fisher Stevens that's annoying me is he's got jet black hair, but like bleached blonde eyebrows.
Oh, there's been a few characters like that.
Oh,
I
really?
think. Well,
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it's just...
maybe it was just the makeup department channeling the original Thor movie.
What, like 20 years before it was made?
Yes. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah. Well, I suppose this movie is about a crack in reality.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Oh look, she's in Bowser's castle.
But I guess you could call this the Mushroom Kingdom, in the sense that the king got turned into some sort of fungus creature and then spread himself all over the city and spends the entire movie, and presumably decades to centuries before that, clinging to walls and oozing through vents like snot.
Yes.
Choices! Wonderful choices.
Again, ahead of its time. We've just had The Last of Us, and that's all about mycelia flowing through the undergrowth. Have you been watching any of that?
Nah,
it's very good.
Yeah, I don't care though. That's the thing. It's just another zombie thing, isn't it?
It's not.
And it's well, it is. Isn't it?
What's interesting is it's very accurate to the game from what I've seen so far.
I don't really care about the game either.
No, the game was great.
Yeah.
Take that, sucker.
Like, I guess they sort of look like Shy Guys a bit, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch The Last of Us. I really love Pedro Pascal, obviously, because everybody does.
Yeah.
Because he's just a wonderful, beautiful human being.
I saw a very funny clip of him being interviewed.
Oh, is it the one where the he gets shown the sleazy tweets about himself?
No, it was him being
really
asked,
me
whenever you're feeling down, do you ever look up your fan pages to feel a bit more confident about yourself? And he pisses himself laughing and says, yes, I do. Yeah. And then they're like, wait, what's your favourite one? And he's like, the Pedro Pascal fan account. So apparently when he's down, he goes on to find some thirst trappy posts.
Oh, look at this fucking drip, man.
They're still wearing their own fucking colours, though. Jesus Christ. What? Oh, God.
See, look, it's just cars just fucking ramming into each other.
Well, maybe they don't have brakes and they just rely
I don't think they do, actually. I think there is a point in this where I think when Mario and Luigi are stealing that cop car, they're like, oh shit, this thing doesn't have brakes.
Fair enough. So I'm getting sun in my eyes. Excuse the rustling.
Rustle.
I don't think that helped actually. We'll see. A bit.
They call the currency coupons.
Oh, very droll.
Spelled with a K,
Except,
obviously.
of course, the currency should just be gold coins.
I believe... Well, yeah, it should be, shouldn't it?
Like, why have they not got gold coins with little ones on them?
Yeah. Do you think, at this point, they're all dancing to... Get on the floor... Everybody, the dinosaur.
Should we put the audio on for a second?
No, I know for a fact that's what they're dancing to.
Oh, okay.
What else would they be dancing to in this movie? Oh, that would be great. That would be great. And it would be appropriate. It would be an appropriate choice for this movie.
They should have got the beatboxing flautist.
Right.
Do you remember that?
What?
We'll play that after. There was a sort of youngish flautist who went on YouTube and taught himself to beatbox while playing the flute. It's like beatboxing whilst he's playing the Mario themes. I have
seen that.
It's really good.
Look at this. He's got fucking matching gloves to his mustard yellow suit with matching gloves. That is incredible. I want that costume.
Really?
How could you not want that? Look at these. With a fucking zip-up turtleneck underneath. Yeah. That's incredible. So this is another thing that is named for a thing in the game, but is nothing like the thing in the game. That character is Big Bertha, right? Who is a big fish from Mario 3.
Oh, Jesus.
There is nothing fish-like about this woman.
Well, there's nothing dinosaur-like about the dinosaurs, so...
And I mean...
God, they really like focusing on her cleavage as well. It's the second time they've shown that exact shot of just necklace in boobs.
Yeah, weirdly horny, like I say. Oh my god, Mario!
Good gravy.
That's inappropriate on so many levels.
Yeah. That looks like a very dangerous fire in the background.
For a plumber, he seems to have a bit of difficulty getting his pipes cleared, you know what I'm saying?
That's just vulgar and disgusting.
That was vulgar and disgusting. I apologise. Let's move on. So Yoshi, we saw Yoshi. Apparently that was Yoshi. I don't like any of what's happening here. This is very, very weird, isn't it? Why is this in a Mario movie? Why?
No. You're missing the point. Why is this Mario movie? Just why is it?
Yeah, fair point. So anyway, Yoshi.
We could have been watching Lost in Space.
Hey, don't blame me. Don't blame me. I put the choice out there. People chose this.
Yes.
I'm at the whims of my adoring public.
I think maybe they just hate you.
Possibly. Anyway, yeah, Yoshi. So, incredible animatronic. Like I said before, like the puppet work and the animatronics in this, pretty fucking good. Like the Goomba faces.
I mean, it appears to be fairly high budget as well. I mean, they've got a lot.
It went severely
got complicated
over budget.
Sets. They've got clearly, but it seems to be well made, but not made well. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's got
it's really badly
like I say,
made,
everything is just
everything
a little bit broken.
Just like it's high quality trash. You know?
It's got all the elements are there for. Maybe not a good movie, but an interesting movie, you know?
I really hope that was a gummy worm.
I think it was just a worm.
I mean, yes, never mind.
Oh, violence.
More of that, yeah. Oh, look, there's loads of jump boots behind. I wonder what they're going to put on.
Yeah. So, as an example of how they went massively over budget, Yoshi, incredible animatronic, obviously a lot of time and work and effort went into designing and constructing it.
For about 4 minutes
and it's absolutely pointless.
Yeah.
It does nothing. And you can't even ride the fucking thing. Like, the whole point of Yoshi in the games, like, if there was a bit in this movie where Mario and or Luigi ride on the back of Yoshi and they have to jump over a gap, but it's just slightly too far for them to jump, and they jump off. They jump off. No. They jump off of Yoshi's back and allow Yoshi to fall into the abyss to his death, while they make the rest of the jump quite safely. That was the purpose of Yoshi in the games, was an extra double jump. And in this, he's just if they put that scene in this movie, I would have forgiven everything else.
You know, the most surprising thing, for such a horny film, they didn't ride Yoshi.
Now who's being vulgar?
Me.
God, this movie just brings out weirdness in all things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What?
Oh my god, what's with the bling? What are they wearing?
What is he wearing? It's like a giant poker chip.
It's like he's wearing a bicycle reflector.
It probably is. And the little sort of silver decals on Mario's jacket. I love that.
So when are we going to get to see them both wearing their colour-coded dungarees? What am I saying?
That comes apparently. I think it's like 66 minutes into the movie or something like that.
How many minutes into the movie are we?
It's pretty near the end.
Well, we're 63 minutes in.
Yeah, I think when they went into that room there, they were going to get all their gear. But it's like even when they get their costumes, they're not right. They're just not right.
Everything's just a little bit off.
Everything's just a little bit broken. So that's the weird snotty sludge mucus fungus thing that Dennis Hopper is
talking
Dutch angling at the moment. That is King Bowser.
Obviously.
Like what? Why? And how? Just what, why and how is what and why and how. It's broken my brain. This movie has broken my brain. Ah.
Yeah, it's and that's a truck called a sludge gulper.
That's rude.
I did not quite get how randy this film was.
Look, that is a cool shot. That was a pretty cool shot of the big tower with all the fungus and stuff growing on it.
You know, thinking about this as well, like, as much as it is shit, just imagine if they made this script now, how much awful CGI would have just ruined it even more. At least when you're in, at least everything looks like it's actually really there. Like,
True.
Imagine them trying a really janky CGI Yoshi in this. At least they went. At least they went the released a year earlier Jurassic Park route for the dinosaurs. Yeah,
but they didn't need to. It was completely unnecessary.
They didn't need to make the movie, but they were obviously trying to make
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. So I've talked a little bit about Mario things that are name dropped but have very little relation to the game. You've got Koopa, who should be Bowser. You've got Big Bertha, who should be a fish thing. Like, this has nothing to do with the thing. It's just named for the thing in the game, and she's just a woman. Whatever. Goombas are little evil mushroom things in the game. This are giant lizard men. Like, how do you get that wrong? Smacking things off tables in rage. I don't know. It did make a big thump, so it couldn't have been expensive. There's only like maybe one or two things. We're still recording, aren't we?
We are still recording. I was just making sure my laptop wasn't falling asleep.
Yeah, there's like maybe two. There they are. There they go.
Oh,
that's not right. Where's the dungarees and the things? It's just a little bit not right. And the jump boots are stupid. Like, they're unnecessary. Anyway.
This is absurd.
So yeah, apparently, so you've got bullet bills in this, but I think bullet bills are not like actual bullets that get fired out of cannons and have faces on them for some reason.
Wait, why have some of the Goombas got different heads?
Diversity.
Every Goomba.
Why do humans have different heads?
Well, they don't have different head shapes. They've just got different faces.
Some people.
Well,
do.
yes, but okay. I'll give you that then. Okay. Humans are different in that. Yeah, I mean, some of them look more like the lizard from Spider-Man.
They'll just be like de-evolved from things that evolved from different dinosaurs. That makes no sense. But then that's this movie, isn't it? Just making no sense. So yeah, bullet bills aren't actually bullets. They're like little cartridges that power the jump boots, I think.
What?
And there's the.
And I'm not really following. What is this weird crystal that he was trying to steal out of a cleavage a minute
ago? I
ago?
think it's like a piece of the asteroid that is like making the portal back to Earth work.
One of those Goombas had a head like a snake.
So they need to put the crystal thing in the thing, and then the portal will open and they can go home.
Oh, a portal MacGuffin.
A portal MacGuffin.
Gotcha.
That's what it is.
Should have just led with that.
So we saw it earlier, we got the bomb. In fact, I think they picked up the bomb. And yeah, because I think they use it later. There's actually the one good sequence in this movie is the bomb sequence. Because it's set up...
Sorry, is Luigi dancing with a Goomba right now?
They're distracting them by dancing. By making them dance.
What, and they can't feel that they're being manhandled from behind?
No, because they're really stupid.
Okay. Obviously.
Cool goggles.
Nice Crocs.
It doesn't even really look like Yoshi. It's like it's
well,
not.
No, because Yoshi's meant to be cute, and that looks like a fucking velociraptor.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. No.
Not even a good velociraptor.
It's not the right shade of green. Even it's a weird vomity.
It's not even the right size. It should be
green.
taller than Mario.
Well, yeah, exactly. They should be able to ride around on it. What's the point in having a Yoshi if you can't ride around on it and sacrifice it for a double jump?
Indeed. And then you just wait a few screens and find another egg with another Yoshi in.
Indeed.
I wonder how many Yoshis are canonically killed in every game.
Thousands, I want to say.
Depends how good the game you are, I guess.
I don't know if they've revealed it yet, but you know the de-evolution chamber?
Mm-hmm.
I think Bowser's made that into like gun form, so he's got like a de-evolution gun.
Oh god.
And they keep calling it the Devo gun. And every time they say that, I just want it to like bombard the target with Holy Diver.
What?
Holy Diver! Down along the midnight tree. Devo!
We'll leave that there.
It's not Devo, it's Dio, but anyway.
Oh, right. I was thinking if it was a Devo gun, it was just something that Sturgy would have. Politics.
Love it. Get a bit of politics in there. Why not? Look at John Leguizamo his way out of that lift.
I think it was mostly arms. What is with the weird snake-headed thing in the background? Like, see what I mean? There's so many weird-looking...
I think you might be a Goomba racist. Why am I seeing Goomba diversity on my TV?
But all Goombas are meant to look the same.
This is wokeness gone mad.
Well, actually, maybe they don't look the same. Maybe I just can't tell the difference. Maybe I am a Goomba racist.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think they all look alike.
We can't be having diversity in our Goombas. Here, have this plate of raw vegetables. They've been captured for some reason. Again, amazing costumes. Not so much on...
This is what I'm saying, the production value of this is pretty high.
Yeah.
But the actual film is just awful.
Oh no!
Don't
Toad!
set Toad on fire, he was bringing food.
I like how he's just standing around being on fire.
But he's stupid, what's he supposed to do? He doesn't understand fire.
Yeah, surely he understands pain.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand how to stop the fire, does he?
No.
He wasn't taught to tuck and roll or drop and roll.
Yeah. Okay, so these are good guys now?
I mean, apparently.
What a stupid movie.
I was about to say you chose it, but it was your fans. I blame Twitter.
Yeah. If in doubt...
I mean, blaming Twitter is a very easy solution to most things.
Yeah, if in doubt, blame Twitter. Oh, it's a big poo! What's going on?
It's the mighty Jagrafess.
That's her dad?
What? What, so she's a lizard too?
Your dad is a big shit. Like, literally a giant poo. Or a prolapsed anus. Or something horrid. This is a fucked up world.
I'm going to go with the mighty Jagrafess.
So yeah, I think it's like some humans evolved from mushrooms, and some humans evolved from dinosaurs.
Well, I mean, are they humans or are they just humanoid?
Well, that's a good question, isn't it?
There was a TNG episode which explained why everyone's humanoid. Maybe it's the same sort of thing. Maybe they were seeded by alien
Maybe.
races that just...
Well, I mean, they're
DNA
from
was always
Earth.
heading...
They are from Earth, so I don't know. But why would mushrooms and lizards, even if one or both of those was capable... What the fuck is going on? I don't know. What the fuck's going on with any of this? Even if either of those species were capable of evolving into something resembling a human being, surely both of them aren't going to evolve into...
What, he didn't realise he was being suspended by his belt?
I don't think anybody realises anything that's going on here. This is quite a video gamey bit. This is giving me some Super Mario RPG
That is a
vibes.
tough belt. I think that rainbow belt needs more praise than we gave it earlier, because that's
It's
supporting the
the
weight of
saviour of this movie. Oh, excuse me. It's the saviour of the movie, is that belt.
Or is Yoshi about to be the saviour?
Oh, come on then, Yoshi. What are you...
Excuse me again, I've got to readjust this. I keep getting the sun in my eyeballs. You can't have that. I like to be able to see what I'm moaning at. Ugh, snotty.
Yeah. Right, Yoshi, you better do something. Justify your existence in this movie, damn it.
He has no obligation to justify his existence.
No, I think he does need to justify his existence, actually. Yeah, take the gun. Do some killing. Do some murder.
What was that cable attached to?
I don't know. But I think this is the bit where you hear the one-up. Oh, it's a light gun! There's a lot of light gun action in this because they took the the Super Nintendo light gun thing and turned it into...
I was going to say, there were so many light gun games with Mario, weren't there?
Fucking light gun games.
Well, actually, I suppose technically Super Mario 1/Duck Hunt was a light gun game, and that came on one cartridge.
Yeah.
You ever play that?
Light gun technology. No, I never played any light gun games, really.
No.
I never really saw the point in them. Right, I suppose it's time for IMDb trivia bits. 10 bits, interesting or no, let's go.
Okay. I have a feeling that 99% of this is not going to be interesting, but we'll see how we get on.
See how we get on,
I don't have a good track record for guessing what's interesting and what's not, so we'll see.
Trivia bit number 1. Bob Hoskins didn't know that the film he was making was based on a game until his son asked him what he was working on. When Hoskins mentioned the film's title, his son immediately recognised it and showed Hoskins the game on his own Nintendo Entertainment System.
Fascinating.
Is that interesting or not interesting?
I mean, it's interesting that he would do a film and not know anything about the origin of it and just assume it was like a standalone thing.
I think that happens more often than you think.
Well, in that case, we'll say not interesting.
Wrong, it's in fact interesting.
I said it was interesting! Don't you try, you're just trying to put me off now.
There's actually a very funny clip of like an interview that was done with Bob Hoskins where he describes that. And you should look at it because it's very funny. But he's just like, oh yeah, I didn't know that this was based on a game until I showed my son, and then my son showed me the game, and it was like this little man going doopy 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 doopy. And I was like, I was in King Lear.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I love Bob Hoskins. Trivia bit number 2. Let's go.
I feel like we need to get you a button that goes...
No. It's no fun that way.
Okay, carry on.
Dennis Hopper described the film's production, quote, "It was a nightmare, very honestly, that movie. It was a husband and wife directing team who were both control freaks and wouldn't talk before they made decisions. That really shows. Just no communication whatsoever. Anyway, I was supposed to go down there for 5 weeks.
I've been meaning to point this out. I do like the weird little pyramid-y wall texture bits.
Yeah, there's a lot of baffling.
Very, very thwompy.
Yes. Ah, yes, it is actually. Yeah.
That's interesting. But that fact wasn't.
Listen, I'm doing the bit. You are victim of the bit.
Okay. I do feel like a victim in this.
Anyway, back to Dennis Hopper's quote. Anyway, I was supposed to go down there for 5 weeks, and I was there for 17. It was so over budget. Interesting or not interesting?
Well, we've already discussed all this.
Yeah, we have.
So, can we just skip this one?
No. Okay, is it interesting or is it not interesting?
Interesting.
Correct! It is interesting. Ding! I mean, 17 weeks is... Yeah, we talked about it before. It's fucking brutal. I mean, wouldn't be so bad if it was 17 weeks and you were doing, like, Lord of the Rings or something fun and interesting. But wait, 17 weeks...
Are we talking fun and interesting, or are we talking Lord of the Rings?
Oh, shut up. But, I mean, 17 weeks wandering around in these fucking weird sets surrounded by weird creatures. It'd be a fucking nightmare.
I'm glad they managed to bring some cigarettes down there with them.
Yeah. Well, priorities, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right, what's the next?
Trivia bit number 3. Okay, carry on. The Yoshi puppet, we've kind of talked about this as well, but anyway. The Yoshi puppet was capable of making 64 separate movements due to the 200 feet of cable crammed inside its 3-foot-tall structure. In all, no less than 9 puppeteers were used to operate the Yoshi puppet. Interesting or not interesting?
I think that is quite interesting.
You're wrong, it is not interesting. For all the reasons I said before, you can't fucking ride it, so what's the fucking point?
No, that's not the question though. The question was whether it's interesting that it had a specific, range of movement and it had that many miles of cable.
It's not interesting because if they could have made it a lot more simple and capable of being ridden around.
Okay.
What next? Oh yes, trivia bit number 4. Blech. In a 2011 interview with The Guardian, excuse me, Bob Hoskins described the film's production. It was a fucking nightmare. The whole experience was a nightmare. It had a husband and wife team directing whose arrogance had been mistaken for talent.
Mm-hmm.
After so many weeks, their own agent told them to get off the set. Fucking nightmare. Fucking idiots.
The director's own agent told them to get
Yep.
That is interesting. That is interesting.
It is interesting.
Yes, that is very interesting.
Bob Hoskins, man, he just...
doesn't give a shit.
He just didn't hold back, did he? So it's like, this thing is shit and the worst thing I have ever done.
Oh, he just called them de-evolution guns. So it wasn't even just devolution, it's de-evolution. With a hyphen.
Well, potato, innit?
No, it's devolution, de-evolution.
They're going down a pipe like in the games. It's like the games.
But is it going... whatever the noise is. Yeah, that'll do.
No, I think there's just a lot of screaming going on at this point.
Those little heads. Sorry, am I judging Goombas again? Apologies.
Yeah, you really... bringing a lot of problematicness to this production.
I'm bringing the problematicness to this horny production.
Well, yeah, fair point, yeah. Okay, trivia bit number 5. The de-evolution guns seen at the end of the film are simply repainted versions of the Super Nintendo light gun accessory.
No way!
The Super Scope.
Oh, the Super Scope. I thought you meant the original blaster gun.
Nah. So is that interesting or is that not interesting?
I'm going to say moderately interesting.
That's not an option. You keep trying to do this, and it's not an option.
Well, then, not interesting.
Correct. It's not interesting.
Okay, so I think I figured this out. If it is actually moderately interesting, that means not interesting. And if it isn't that interesting, but it's a fun fact, it's interesting.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
I'll get there eventually.
Do you honestly think there's any rhyme or reason to any of this?
It does feel a bit like the true or false round from Shooting Stars.
Iranu.
Iranu indeed.
But yeah, light gun technology was just the worst shit. It was just stupid and pointless, and I'm glad we don't have it anymore.
Well, okay.
It was pretty shit. And it was so easy to game it as well.
Yeah, just point at a light bulb and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Nice idea.
So that is a super scope. Right?
No, that's not a super scope. That's just a
prop gun.
That's just a gun. Ooh, what's he picking up here?
A rock.
That's how they went.
Oh,
there's
a bullet bill.
And he's in the cartridge. Instead of being a bullet, it's a cartridge for the stupid jumpy boots. Okay, right, okay. That was actually clever. That was a little bit clever.
Was it?
Yeah. I mean, doing it twice is a bit much.
Was there a gun but they're in a neck brace?
Well, I think everybody was in a neck brace by the end of this production. Oh, God.
Right, next fact.
Yeah, where are we? Number 6. Tom Hanks was considered for the role of Luigi, but the failures of Turner and Hooch, 1989, and Joe versus the Volcano in 1990 led the studio to believe Hanks was no longer a box office draw. Interesting or not interesting?
I'm going to say that is interesting.
That is interesting. Ding.
I would never have thought he would have been cast in this sort of movie. To be honest, he probably would have turned it down. He's probably smart enough to have known this was bullshit.
It's probably just as well that he wasn't, because, and it's very interesting that the studio believed that Hanks was no longer a box office draw, considering, shall we go through some of the next films that he was in, or the films like that came out immediately after this?
Was The Money Pit around this time?
I don't think so.
I like that one.
But you had Sleepless in Seattle.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Big hit. Forrest Gump. Big hit. It's not very good, but it's a big hit. Apollo 13. Big hit.
Big hit.
Toy Story.
That was quite a big hit. I understand, yeah.
So, yeah, I just find it quite amusing that the studio was like, oh, Tom Hanks has been in 2 crap movies.
Was Toy Story out, 93, 94?
Toy Story was 95, I want to say.
Yeah, that sounds about right, but that's impressive.
Yeah, and like I say, just kind of funny that the studio was like, he's been in 2 bad movies, so his career is over. And then his next run of movies are probably the most iconic movies he's been in. Like, after that, you've got like Castaway and that kind of thing.
Yeah, Castaway was pretty good.
Well said, etc. You know the meme. Oh, look, it's more fucking motoring chaos.
I'm still waiting to look out for the super scopes.
This is like
oh look, she's got
Rush
a portal
Hour in
MacGuffin.
Edinburgh. Take that, Edinburgh drivers. What happened to her that she's got this weird Bride of Frankenstein hairdo going on?
Well, it's all the electric, isn't it?
I suppose,
all the electricity is just getting aesthetic problems. Anyway, what are we on?
And what's with all these women? And
why? How is that not a Trump poster behind?
It looks like Red Skull.
Is he somehow going to bluff that he's got it?
He's got the bomb. See, this is a good bit. This is the bit with the bomb is a genuinely good bit. Because it's a nice bit of setup and payoff.
I kind of like one of those little bomb props, actually.
Yeah, they're pretty cute.
I mean, it looks like it's just one of those little things you get out of a cracker that someone's put a little crappy little black ball on, but that's going to take ages.
But why did they make it look
just run away or kick it off the side?
I don't understand what... Well, there it goes. I don't understand why they've made certain things look like they are in the game, and they've not done that with everything. Like, if they wanted a bomb, they could have just had a fucking grenade with legs and just called it a bomb, and it probably would have been more fitting with the general aesthetic of the movie. You know what I mean? It's just strange. But anyway, this is quite a good.
Look at the janky paint job on that. Jesus.
Yeah.
I was praising the props a minute ago.
It does actually kind of look like it was made from scratch. Like they took the inner workings.
Yeah,
of
that's what I just said. Yeah, like
blocky thing. But you would think they would just be able to find one that was a ball already, and just paint it. Oh, you can see your skeleton. Oh,
it's Marv.
Yeah.
She sure makes an impression. Oh dear me.
You fucked me. Right, trivia bit number 7. This was the first Hollywood film directly.
Sorry, wait. Why can Daisy are the only one that can withstand the force?
Because mushrooms.
Okay, carry on.
This was the first Hollywood film directly based on a specific video game property. Is that interesting?
Is that true?
Or not interesting? I think it's true.
Not interesting.
Like there've been like video game movies, like there've been like The Last Starfighter and stuff like that, which is kind of a video game movie.
We're merging?
Yeah, that's Koopa's plan, is to merge the universes.
Oh.
For some reason. But anyway, that bit of trivia, was that interesting?
I've forgotten it already. It's not interesting.
First Hollywood film directly based on a specific video game property?
Yeah, not interesting.
That was interesting. Ding!
Okay.
They only got better from there as well.
Resident Evil, case in point.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, Doom.
Well, Doom had 3 minutes of greatness.
All great movies.
Oh.
Okay, yep, see, that's aged well, isn't it? They really loved that particle effect, didn't they? Oh, your flamethrower's not working. Oh, what are you going to do? It's not your world.
Oh yeah, that's a super scope, alright.
That's a super scope.
Oh jeez. Yet another example of people not quite understanding evolution. Not a monkey, chimp, but also we're not descended from chimps, we have a common ancestor.
Monkey. Yeah, but this is also a movie in which mushroom people...
Is that the Scapelli boss?
Yeah, I think so. He's gonna make a monkey out of them. It's gonna make, you get it? He's gonna make a monkey out of them.
Trust the fungus. What?
He used the mushroom shield, like he does in the game all the time.
What the deuce? That head looks like it would have been very painful.
Yeah, a lot of this is very painful, isn't it?
Oh, that thing's still not exploded.
Just you wait. Like I said, set up and payoff. Doesn't happen a lot in this movie, but...
They do have brakes.
Oh, that one does. Because it needed to for that joke.
Oh. You can even see the screw holes on the side of that prop. I bet the prop department was so chuffed with themselves, thinking, oh, I know, we'll use the super scopes.
Yeah, well, it's a...
Oh, it can walk up walls.
Yep.
Obviously.
Didn't
It's
see
got
that
to be
coming,
the longest burning centimetre-long fuse in history.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
Right, come on. Fact number 8.
Are we up to 8 now? Yeah,
I think
okay. Trivia bit number 8. When Daisy is using the panel in the room with her father as a fungus, the noise that boots it up is the iconic sound for getting a 1-up in Mario games. Whoever writes these fucking IMDb trivia things really needs to proofread.
What, you mean like 13-year-old boys?
Yeah.
When Daisy is using the panel in the room with her father as a fungus, the noise... I guess it makes sense. Anyway, is that interesting or not interesting?
I mean, we did discuss it already. I don't know if it's necessarily interesting or not. Well, I'll go with not.
Correct, it's not interesting.
Hey.
I think you are getting the hang of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reebok. They
Yeah,
just had a Reebok advert on the feet of the
that's
fucking
good bit.
babong.
It's a good bit because it's a setup and it's a payoff and it's a thing. But he somehow flies straight up and falls straight down, but at the same time falls into a thing that's like
Not
5
below
feet
where he was.
to his left. But anyway. That's the one actually genuinely good bit in this movie.
Well, the ending's approaching. I think that's probably a good bit.
Well,
Carry on.
Anyway.
Number 9.
Number 9. Mario and Luigi don't dress in their trademarked coloured outfits until 66 minutes into the movie.
Not interesting.
Correct, it's not interesting. It's also a lie because at no point in this movie do they wear their iconic costumes.
Yeah.
They just do not.
Oh, are we just having some janky CG now? Just
well, it's mucus. It's gloopy
no, now it's
effects.
not.
They're fine. They're usually fine. It wasn't on screen for that often, and they've just killed the bad guy by turning him into bogies.
Did Bob Hoskins ever have hair?
No, I don't think so. Actually, he might do in The Long Good Friday. He might have hair in that. Not sure. They're going for a victory jump. Burp.
Oh my god. I like how they didn't have to have a training montage like Iron Man when he learned how to use the boots. Because it would have been pretty awkward to see them like do backflips into a wall. Right, anyway.
Right, trivia bit number 10. When Luigi first attempts to woo Daisy...
He's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Mario responds by holding an
Not
upside-down
interesting.
Evian
You don't even
water
need to
bottle
finish
to
it.
his
No.
head, which is inverted, reads naive.
Not interesting.
Correct. It doesn't. It just doesn't. There he is.
this
There's thingy.
So he's Bowser.
That's Bowser. That is King Bowser. I hope you enjoyed that appearance of Bishop.
I just wanted him to do the knife thing.
Why is he King Bowser? He could have just been King Mushroom Guy. Like, fair enough. You call the guy that should be called Bowser Koopa, because technically he was called that at one point in the past. Fine. But why'd you make the king of the Mushroom Kingdom be...
So I've just seen the burnt skeleton still on the side of the wall there. They're just completely ignoring that.
That's a good bit of continuity.
Is she staying behind in the Mushroom Kingdom?
You want to stay?
Oh, so you can get to know your Mushroom Daddy.
Don't ever say that combination of words ever again.
Sorry, your toadstool papa.
Your fungal father.
Yes, I was going to say that. That was going to be my next phrase, but you beat me to it. Damn it. Oh, good lord. To be fair, if anyone was going to have a romantic subplot in this, it would have been Luigi, because it's well established that Luigi fucks. In the Mario comics,
Okay, interesting.
he has a thing with Daisy.
Right, okay. Yeah, the film's still going, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just walk away from the thing, go back to your lives. Interesting that they get to keep the jump boots.
Yeah.
Surely that's...
Although they're never going to get to refuel them. They don't really have many...
they'll find a way. They're clever plumbers.
Oh, that's true. Silly me.
They'll find some plumber solution.
And then you'll still be there for the never to happen sequel, Daisy, so we'll never see you again. Come on, Luigi. You got to make out with her. We've got to go through the wall now. Yeah, did Yoshi actually do anything in this?
No, absolutely nothing. That's what I'm saying. It's absolutely pointless. And they could have saved a lot of money by just not having it in the movie. Because all he does is, like, be kind of adorable and then point at a gun that helps Daisy use a computer. We're on the miraculous world! How do they know how do they know about that it was from a parallel universe? Nobody stuck around to explain what was going on.
Oh, and they've
Do you
just
think these
been
guys
named
were
the Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Luigi's like, couldn't you just call us Mario and Luigi?
That's the name of the movie. She's back! You gotta come with me!
Oh, they actually did set up for a sequel.
Yeah! Fucking the absolute brass nerve of this of all movies to have a fucking sequel bait cliffhanger.
And that was Super Mario Brothers.
Holy shit, what a terrible movie.
Why do you make me watch these things?
Because it's fun. People like to hear people suffering through things.
This is true. Mario and Luigi Mario.
Yeah, they didn't give them their full names though.
What's Mario's full name?
Super Mario Brother.
Oh, Brooklyn Girl, and Brooklyn Girl. They didn't even get numbers. They just Brooklyn Girl. Goomba. None. What a but we get Reporter 1 and Reporter 2, but the nuns don't get numbers.
See, even the credits are broken. Egon's in this. What?
Dan Castellaneta was the narrator.
Yeah.
We didn't hear that properly. It was a bit quiet. But
Well, he's going on about the dinosaurs. Back in the day, there were dinosaurs, and then a big fucking fireball came along and was like, "Hey, I'm
a dinosaur.
I'm Apocalypse in here."
Oh, good grief.
Good grief indeed.
So is there anything else we need to suffer through in terms of discussion now, or are we just gonna...
Let me have a little glance through my notes here. When Koopa dies from the de-evolution as a slime, it automatically turns the Fungus King into a human. How and why? Does it turn the Goombas back into humans? What's going on? How does anything work?
Nothing works.
Why did they make this film? Right, well, it's over now. We can stop. We're done. Goodbye.
We don't need to wait until the credits end or anything?
No, even if there is a post-credits thing, I don't want to know.
Okay, well, that was...
Thanks, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. We didn't. It was a bit of fun, but it's a garbage movie. Right, we're done. Goodbye.
Goodbye.